Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Taimur and this is my channel, The Cloud Security Guy. And today I want to talk about a topic which a lot of people ask me about, which is like which cloud security tools should they use. Now, I'll be very honest with you, I don't like promoting any particular tools or products. I like to talk about concepts and processes, and there are many channels, honestly much better than mine, much more competent than mine when it comes to tooling. But even so, I thought I would go over just a few of those tools which I have used and which I would recommend if you're starting out in cloud security. All of them are completely free. You don't have to buy them, okay? And you can use them, but very important, please use them at your own risk. Check them out in your own sandboxes, and most importantly, please do not use them in production environments, okay? Test them out, go through your internal processes before you even go anywhere near production with a cloud security tool, okay? So the first one I talk about is Prowler. Prowler I've already talked about before. I have a complete video on my channel which goes about Prowler. Prowler is basically a cloud security assessment tool. You can see here an open source security tool to perform AWS, GCP and Azure security best practices assessments. Basically, if you want to do a detailed audit of your cloud environment, okay, an in-depth review with a very good report, like a security audit against a compliance benchmark, I don't think there is any tool better than Prowler, especially when it comes to AWS. One disclaimer, most of these tools I've used for AWS only because I work in AWS, honestly, but they should work with any other environment. So Prowler is definitely a tool I would recommend if you're talking about doing a cloud security posture assessment. You can run it from a container, you can run it from a server like an EC2 instance, you can run it directly from the command line. It gives some amazing reports, and once it starts running, this is how it looks like from the command line. As you can see here, this is how it looks like. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Yeah, and this is how basically the HTML report looks like, and it gives you a very detailed CSV report. You can do all sorts of data manipulation, dashboarding if you want. So Prowler is the first tool I would recommend. If you're thinking about doing something like a cloud security posture assessment, check out my detailed video, which is like 2 years old, but it's still valid. It still works. Okay. What else apart from that? The next tool I would heavily recommend is something called this one, which is Datadog. The tool from Datadog, sorry, not Datadog, which is Stratus Red Team. What is that? So basically, it is an atomic red team for the cloud. That's you can emulate attacks in a very self-contained manner. It actually checks out, it detonates. That's why they mean, and you can actually simulate real-world attacks for the cloud. How do you know your cloud security posture assessment is good, right? Anybody can say my cloud security is mature. You can actually go there and run these tools, right? So from their own documentation, a coach reproducing common attack behavior. Yeah, Stratus Red Team. It's an open source project created to emulate common techniques directly in your cloud environment. So you can see here it's available for free on GitHub, and you can go into the detailed documentation also, what sort of attacks. But again, this is a very powerful tool. So you can use actually Prowler to get like a security posture assessment, and you can use Atomic Red Team to simulate attacks against your environment. Provided you do both of them, you will be in a very good shape about your cloud environment. So you can say these are two very powerful tools available completely for free. So check these out. I would heavily recommend them. What else is there? One is Leonidis. I haven't used this that much, but I've heard some very good things about it. Same, it allows you to simulate attacker actions within the cloud. You can use like a YAML based format, and you can define your own attacks. So it's pretty cool. You can look at that. So you can use it for analysts if you're a purple team, and you can check whether the SIEM is recording the logs or not, right? So when you're detonating new types of attacks. So this is again a very good tool, and the good thing is, like you said, you can define what sort of attacks you want to do. You can define your own attacks within a YAML format if you want to do that. So that is, but one disclaimer, I haven't used this that much, Leonidis. So I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, the other one I want to talk about is Paku. Paku is what? I hope this is how you pronounce it. But yeah, this is for offensive security testing within the cloud. So this is more from penetration testers. So you can do all sorts of attacks, like you want to check out, say, backdoor for an IAM user, or you want to compromise the Lambda function, or maybe privilege escalation. You can easily get this downloaded, and you can run all sorts of attacks. This is more for penetration tester, like the first one. This anybody can do, right? The cloud security posture assessment and the Datadog. This is more heavily geared towards people who are really penetration testing, like sorry, this one. This is heavily geared more towards penetration testers, but still a very, very powerful tool. Okay, what else is there? CloudGuard. CloudGuard is like one of my favorites. I really like this. This is what it is. So this is like a vulnerable by design. What does that mean? It actually deploys a completely vulnerable environment. So you can do all sorts of these, capture the flag. You know, if you want to learn, it's very easy to sit and talk about how to secure AWS, how to secure that cloud. It is another thing completely to actually simulate an insecure environment and then give you the opportunity, your security team, the opportunity to find out how it works, how to learn, and really gamify the environment. So some of them, it gives you multiple scenarios. Some of them are very easy to do, some of them are very hard to do. So definitely I would recommend this if your team is new. These are all sorts of the environments you can see. Look, just want to show, yeah, the scenarios available: vulnerable Lambda, vulnerable Cognito. You want to do an IAM privilege escalation, what do you call Lambda privilege escalation, breaching a screen environment. So very, very cool tool. I would definitely recommend. This complements Prowler and the Atomic Red team, and this is more on the learning. So you want to gamify and you want to make sure your teams are able to learn this. Okay, what else is there? Guard Duty Tester. So this is, again, sorry, I apologize in advance if this is heavily geared towards AWS, because like I said, I work in AWS, so I'll always be a little bit biased towards that. My experience is more focused on that. But this is for Guard Duty. So Guard Duty, if you're not aware, is like a machine learning based security intelligence tool within AWS. It monitors the whole environment using AI and machine learning. It creates a baseline and then lets you know if there is some issue happening. So what this actually does, it creates like a isolated environment, like a container within a EC2 instance. And then what you can do is you can SSH into it, and then you can run this script. So what it's going to do is going to simulate common types of attacks. It's going to simulate malware. It's going to simulate like somebody trying to bypass the server, trying to do all sorts of these attacks, right? And then you can actually check whether the Guard Duty is picking up these actions or not. This will tell you whether your Guard Duty is working properly or not. This will tell you whether if those alerts are configured to go to the SIEM or the SOC. So if you want to do an incident response test, this is a very, very cool tool to check out. Okay, and lastly is AWS Cloud Saga, and this is again one of my favorite tools. So what is this? This is actually, it allows you to test your security controls and alerts. So similar to the previous one, but what's the difference here? Well, this is for customers who want to test environments from the AWS CIT. So the AWS Computer Incident Response Team, they have actually seen these sort of attacks happening, and you can actually simulate those attacks. So you can see all of these attacks are there. They are mentioned in detail, like a Bitcoin mining, somebody doing a network change. So these are all attacks which have happened. Okay, and the AWS Security Incidents Response Team have seen those events happening. So you can deploy it and can start checking it out. So do check there. These are the tools I wanted to just briefly go over. Are these all the tools? No, of course not. These are just the ones which I used a lot. So like I said, going back again, Prowler for doing cloud security posture assessment, Atomic Red Team if you want to emulate offensive attacks within the cloud to find out how well your cloud security is configured. Again, Leonidis, which is another cloud security attack simulation tool. The Paku one was there for like more on the attacks which you can simulate, right? And what else is there? This one was, which was the one? Oh, this is the CloudGuard, right? Sorry, the CloudGuard, which is a vulnerable by design AWS deployment tool. So you can simulate and you can do all sorts of gamifying your learning. Okay, what else is there? The Guard Duty Tester, and lastly, of course, the Cloud Saga, which the AWS SIA team has taken a look at. So these are just a few of the tools which I wanted to show you. I'll put the link for all of these tools in the comment section, and you can check them out. If you have any issues, please try to fix them yourself. This is exactly how you learn. A lot of people, even the smallest issue, they ping me in the comments, right? You will not learn about cloud security unless you learn to debug and troubleshoot these issues by yourself. So check them out. Let me know how it goes. Okay, I hope this was useful to you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.